We're glad to have you here on the Alcon Valley High School Live at Lunch Concert Series podcast, Lutan. I guess the first thing we should ask is where would you say that your history in music really began, and how has that impacted the mindset that you've had for your career?
Well, firstly, I give thanks to be here with you. Thanks for the privilege to be a part of your program today. Yes, Lutan Fyah, my history begins at home. I was born in a yard with a sound system. At the time, Jamaica was like more in the dancehall era
Yeah,
where DJs and artists would be in the dancehall all night singing on the sound system, you know. So that
yeah,
was the time. That was the time when I was born, and I happened to grow up in a yard where a lot of artists always come to, enhance their talent. Yes, so
yeah.
that become a part of me. And when I grew up, I um grew up to be a part of a cultural background, which is Rastafari. And then from then we decided we want to do music to share what we gain from learning.
Yeah, so you definitely say it's your cultural background that's inspired you to take an approach into music, and really has made you grown into what you are today.
Yes, I would say that.
All right, that's great because I know lots of people take inspiration from their own cultures, and they're able to put that into music for the whole world to hear, and it really helps everybody, become a part of that same culture, and I think that's great. Do you have any musical inspiration in specific that has contributed to your personal sound?
Well, my inspiration come from the dancehall, because that's what I know. So in
Yeah,
dancehall in them time, we used to have all kind of music play. We used to have the American music, we used to have the British music, we used to have Caribbean calypso, Jamaica mento, rock steady, ska, and also reggae music. And we as youths in them time, we never used to pick or choose the kind of music to listen. We used to just listen music, even though we are from a reggae country.
so really it's just a combination of everything that you put into your own sound.
Yes, sir, that's how it worked for me.
All right. Well, speaking of personal sound, how do you think you could describe your own personal sound of music? Just reggae, or do you delve into anything else?
Well, my sound vocally, I think with the kind of vocal I have, I can delve in any genre of music, and I would want to do any genre of music. But for me, my sound is developed from the reggae Nyabingi culture, and even um music on a whole. Jamaica have a lot of church music. We have
Yeah.
gospel music. We have kumina music, and we love to gather and sing. And when I am doing music, some of that vibe, you know, come forward where I have to put out what I feel at the time. And at the time, I
Hmm.
may be feeling Poco or Kumina. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Because
great because you're
that's
able
how
to
the
express
song come
yourself.
about.
What's your favorite genre of music, though? Reggae?
But reggae would be my favorite genre, but I'm a lover of all music. I like
Yeah.
good melodies and good music. But reggae music is my thing.
Well, being an artist, you don't just perform. You make music. You write it. You record it. You do all of that. Um, what would you say your favorite part of being an artist is, and why?
The favorite part of being an artist is being an artist, because this is what I love. So it's not a work for me, it's a creative process every time. And that is what I love about doing music. It allowed me to bring out a creative part of me, this individual that has never been heard or seen before in each song. That's what I love about being an artist. Brings
So
out a
really,
part
it's
of
just
me.
expressing yourself.
Yes, I.
Yeah, definitely. I agree, especially with it being a whole creative process. You gotta think a lot and how you're gonna get your message out there, and the best way to do it. I mean, it's music. You can do anything through music.
people wouldn't get it, but if I sing it, it can be played as a song.
Well, in order to make it as a musician, it requires large amounts of patience, and you have to keep pushing. Right? You need perseverance. So how have you managed to keep yourself motivated to keep yourself moving in a musical direction over the years?
Well, for me, I grew up in a yard with a lot of
Yeah,
uncle, auntie, brothers, and a sister, cousins, grandma, grandpa. And with that, I become a certain way. I grew up in not a crowded family, but a family of about 15 in a small yard. And I learned to defend who I am all through that time. And this is how I create an individual personality that decide whatever I want to do, I will have to do it for
yeah.
me.
So really, it stems from your family and having your own individuality in your family. That's what pushes you.
Yeah, that's a push for me because I always have to do what I have to do all my life.
That's great. Well, where exactly do you want your musical career to take you, and where do you want to be in the future? Do you want to be big? Do you want to just hope to inspire someone? What do you want to do?
The main thing for me is to inspire people because that was the initial goal for being a musician. Yeah. I would
Yeah,
want to live comfortable and relax, and as growing older I can defend and have strength to get whatever I want to get done through the work and the effort I put out. The result from
yeah.
my effort should bring me comfort, inspire people. That's the main goal for my music.
Yeah, definitely, because I know there's a lot of artists out there who they make music for money and they don't really hope to inspire. But I feel as if you're working to inspire, the rest will just come naturally as sort of like a side effect, and that's definitely the most important piece in my opinion. But
Yes,
outside
I
of that, how has this pandemic that we're currently in affected you and your musical career? Because a lot of artists out there, they've been struggling with the lack of live performances, and that sort of caused a lack of inspiration, and all the time off really can have an effect on everyone working. So how have you been able to manage the time off?
the only thing that I I feel bad about right now throughout this 13, 12, 15 months of pandemic is lack of live performance. But anything or everything otherwise, I'm okay. I'm always in the studio for 20 years. So it's not like I'm sitting down doing nothing
Yeah.
musically. I do what I always do all through my musical life. Same in the pandemic. What I do is just follow the guidelines and go home when the time is done.
Hmm.
Make more music.
Yeah, it's important to stay motivated, but on top of that, have you, because you said, the lack of live performances has sort of been a struggle. Have you been able to delve your hands into any virtual performances, or would you be interested in any?
Yes, I would really love to do virtual shows. I did a few since this pandemic. I did one the end of last year. That was my birthday show. I also did reggae jam and Uppsala Reggae Festival in the summertime. See, and I went to California in Sacramento in October last year to do a live show in a park,
Yeah.
and I supposed to be doing another live show sometime next month. That is in June in Saint Louis.
That's
Yeah,
that's
but
great
I
to
really
hear.
would want to experience this live virtual shows to see how people would react to Lutan Fyah on a
Yeah.
screen.
Well,
You know.
here at Elkhorn Valley High School, we put on virtual concerts as well as live concerts when appropriate. So, I mean, if you're ever interested, we can contact you about getting you on the virtual show and see where that takes us maybe one day. And that'd be
Okay,
cool to see you
no
here.
problem for me.
You say you're always in the studio, 20 years now. Do you have right now any upcoming, releases or inside details that you can let us all in on?
What I'm doing now is fine tuning my album to be released sometime this year. Fine tuning mean I'm doing the final recording vocally and some overdubbing and some rhythms, and then we move to the mixing part. My mixing will be done by Bonsai, that is the master mix and mixer in California, over
Yeah.
five Grammy albums to his name. So we're working towards fine tuning. It's a 13 track album. We don't find a name for it yet, but that's what we're getting together right now.
Last question, I guess. If you can give the audience listening right now one piece of advice, really in terms of just life, anything in general, what would you tell them?
I would say to my fellow brothers and sisters of the world, respect each other. That's paramount today. See your
That's
brother
great.
as your brother, because he is your brother. See your sister as your sister, because she is your sister. That's it. And then we can
Definitely.
find common ground for unity.
Yeah, kindness, respect, it's one of the most important things you can have. Where on social media and online can we find you?
Okay, you can find me at Lutan Fyah Music, that is IG. And you can also find me at Anthony Lutan Fyah Martin, that is Facebook. And on Twitter, you can find me at Lutan Fyah 1. Yeah, that is Lutan Fyah Music on IG. And you can also find me lutanfyahmusic.com. That's my website. And that's where you can go to get my merchandise, my t-shirts, my spoons, my cups, my fitted caps, and all these kind of things.
We're excited to hear that you have a new album coming up, and hopefully can see you in some live performances, even virtual, pretty soon as things start to ease up. We're so happy to have you here today, and we were very happy to get a good insight on, your thoughts on music and your career and where you plan on going. Any last thing you want to say to the audience?
Well, I want to say thank you for having Lutan Fyah today. It's a blessing, of respect.